Today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to close high ticket clients for your coaching business. A high ticket product is typically priced anywhere above $2,000. I've personally closed packages from $1,500 all the way to $13,000 paid in full as a high ticket sales rep for other companies and even as a growth partner. This is the same exact sales framework that the industry leaders in the coaching business use for their own sales team. And I know this because I've been on many of those teams. This will work for any industry that you're in, whether you're in fitness coaching, business coaching, or even the make money online space. As long as you follow this whole video without skipping any of the steps, step by step, then you will be able to close high ticket clients for your coaching business like clockwork. Now, I've invested over $30,000 to even $40,000 in sales coaching and sales training over the past 12 months. So make sure to pull up your pen and paper and take some notes. All right, so a lot of 99% of you guys right now, you guys will skip this part, but that's the only reason that you guys will fail and you guys won't actually succeed, right? But the principles of sales need to be understood before you understand any of the frameworks or whatever questions to ask, because this is what builds your foundations in sales and this is what actually closes deals. Okay. So I don't care if, many of you guys just skip this part, but I'm telling you guys, do not skip it. It's the most important part of this video. And these are the sales principles or the sales cornerstones that you guys need to understand. Number one is sales pressure. What is sales pressure? Sales pressure is something that you get from your prospects when they feel hesitation during the call because of your salesy energy or even your salesy language, or even just pressure in general, right? Like that pushy sort of energy that you have, that you give off. People can smell it, right, from a mile away when you have commission breath. Okay. Commission breath is basically, your neediness to actually close a deal. In order to combat this, you need to have neutral language. Neutral language meaning you're not siding, right, with one side or another. You're just neutral. So for example, possibly, could be, maybe. These are all neutral language. And then you want to build trust throughout the sales call. You want to, if they have any concerns, you don't want to combat them head to head. You want to diffuse the situation and also help them and help them solve the problem on the same side of the table. Okay. When there's concerns, you guys are head to head, but what you want to do as a salesperson is go to the other side of the table and help them look at the problem together and fix the solution and come up with a solution together. Okay. So, and then you also need to genuinely care about their situation, right? And where they're currently at. Number two, your words are trash, their words are gold. People love talking about themselves. This is human psychology. This is how people are because that's what they care most about. They don't really care about you. Okay. So practice actively listening to your prospects and also avoid talking about yourself or even your story throughout the whole call. Even in the first 10, 20 minutes of the call, don't even focus on yourself. Okay. This is the quickest way to build trust because when they feel that you're actually interested in them, even though, yes, you could be or you could not be, but when you just ask questions and you never talk about yourself and they're only talking about themselves, they think that you care about them, which you do. Number three is productive versus an interesting conversation. This is very important. Okay. In each phase of the sales framework, you will need to check off a couple of things. Okay, in terms of information that you will need from them in order to move to the next part of the framework. Anything more than what you need in terms of the information will be unproductive and the conversation becomes interesting, right? It is your job to make the conversation as productive as possible through effective questioning and also effective redirection if the conversation goes off path, okay? Always go in the straight line. Number four is curiosity. There is a strong correlation between people who are actually curious and their ability to connect with people at a much higher level. So when, from the bottom of your heart, when you're genuinely curious about the other person on the other side situation, right, you will be able to build that trust so much quicker. And when it really just makes the other person feel valued, which fosters a mutual trust and more intimacy. And that leads to our prospects giving better and more honest answers because they trust you, leading to more sales. Number 5, and the last one, is persuading and convincing. Persuasion. So let's start with convincing. What convincing people do is like, okay, you're giving people facts and ideas. You're directly installing a fact or belief, often by providing definitive reasons or proof. So it's very logical, and you're trying to be pushy. You're trying to over explain to them that, hey, this is this, X plus Y equals Z. Okay. So why are you thinking otherwise? Right. This commonly relies on external pressure, right? When you're convincing someone, where the salesperson is rather pushy and it tries to tell and get the prospect to agree with them. You're telling people instead of like persuading. Okay. So, which is what I'm going to compare next. Persuasion is what we want to do. It's all about leading the prospect to recognize the value of the solution on their own, right? It takes a softer approach by asking thoughtful and meaningful questions that help them connect the product or the service to their personal needs and goals, right? We're getting them to realize themselves. We're not telling them anything. So when prospects, when they arrive, at their own insights, they think that it's their own idea, right? But it's not, because it is your questions that have caused them to arrive at this specific insight, right? It creates genuine motivation from their end that tends to foster stronger trust and also long-term satisfaction, which means, that you make more money, okay? And you close the deal. So let's get started of the sales framework. Number 1 is connection phase. So in the connection phase, when you first hop on a Zoom call with that person, there's going to be a lot of sales resistance. They don't know you at all. They don't know who you are. They might have watched your content, but still, they know that they just don't have that connection with you. So that's what you're trying to build in the first phase. You want to decrease and decrease the sales pressure and the sales resistance as much as possible. So go in the call, introduce yourself, right? Have a bit of energy as well. Like, hey, I'm Chor from Scale Acquisition, and you recently booked in a call with us, I think yesterday, about possibly getting some help with scaling your coaching business, right? Okay, so here, let's break it down a little bit here. First of all, smile a little bit and actually have some energy with you, because guys, your prospects will feed and mirror what you are presenting, right? If you're sluggish and you're like, oh, yo, what's good, man? Like, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to ask some questions and see where you're at right now and see where you want to be, just to see if I can help you. Sound good? Right? Like if I was like that on the sales call, the prospect is going to give me the same exact energy, and I don't want that, right? I want good energy, positive vibes, and when people are happy and they're enjoying and they trust you, that's a lot better way to close someone. So, and then here, if I don't know if you guys caught it, but I'm using neutral language here, possibly getting some help. I'm not saying you recently booked in a call with us so that you can actually get some help and work with us, right? Like, I'm not saying that. That's very strong language, strong buying language. So here, I'm trying to diffuse any sales resistance that I'm trying to sell them. So I'm using neutral, possibly language. This is neutral. So second thing is called agenda. A lot of times people, or even sales trainer, you might have heard, I'm setting the frame. Okay. I'm setting the frame, or I'm making sure that I'm above the prospect, right? Really what that first part or the second part here is really for, it's just setting the agenda, telling your prospects, or leading your prospects and telling them, okay, this is what is going to happen in this call today. That's simply what you're doing. You're not taking a frame, or you're not like showing them who's the boss of the call, right? All you're doing is telling them, hey man, like this is what's going to happen on the call. Are you cool with that? That's it. So this is what I would do. Now, the first part of this call is really just for us to find out where you're now in terms of your coaching business and really where you're wanting to be, just to see like that gap that you have, so that we can see if we can even help. And at the end of it, if you feel like it might be what you're looking for, we can go over the possible next steps. Like, would that help? Okay. Guys, tons of neutral language here. I don't know if you guys spotted it. Might be what you're looking for. Possible next steps, right? This is, again, to diffuse any sales resistance. Current phase. Okay, after you set the agenda, let's dive into what the current situation is. So the first thing you want to ask is, why are they on this call in the first place? So like, why did they book this call? So what we can say is, now, what was it about like my YouTube videos or what you've seen so far from me that actually attracted your attention? Or you can say, do you know what it is that you're looking for do you know what it is that you're looking for, maybe like specifically? Okay, so here we're just trying to we're just trying to find out what made them book the call, what is their interest, and we want to find a tier one problem slash goal. Okay, so here they could say, oh, I want more money, or they could say, oh, like right now, da 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 da. Okay, so you're just trying to find intention of booking the call today. So, and then these are the questions you wanna get, right? What are they currently doing to fix the goal, or to get to the goal, or to fix the problem? So let's say, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? Oh, okay. What are you currently doing to lose 20 pounds? Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Oh, okay. What else? Oh, okay, da 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 da. So you get more context of what they're currently doing to lose that weight, right? Or what they're currently doing to fix that problem or get to that goal. And then you want to ask, how long have they been doing it that way for? Just to get some more context. Oh, how long have you been, I guess, just running back and forth, or just running, or doing the treadmill like twice a week? How long have you been doing that for? Okay, and what made you use the treadmill in the first place? And then here, what you're really doing in this current situation is you're just getting a lot more context, right, before actually diving into the problems that they have. Okay. Because without context, and then we just dive straight into the problems, which is the next part, we look stupid, right? Like, we want to make sure we have entire context. We know exactly what their situation is right now, right? Before actually trying to solve, people's problems. For example, if you see, okay, if you see someone lying on the ground after a car crash, right? Are you going to go there and give them some blankets? No, you won't. Like, you won't just give them a solution without assessing the situation, without actually seeing what's wrong with your head, with your eyes, and just like with logic, right? So here, just using our eyes, we don't know anything. That's why we're asking these questions, because we need to know their situation. Okay. Now that we have the whole context of, what their situation is, we want to dive into their problems. Here's something very important I want to tell you guys. Every single person that booked on a call with you, whether that's on Zoom, Google Meets, they have a problem that needs to be solved, right? There is always a reason, there's always a problem, right? Every single prospect. You guys might be like, oh yeah, but like they just said they want more money. Okay, that's not a problem. That's a goal, right? What is the problem there? They don't have enough money, but we want them to say it. We don't want to tell them. So what we would say is like, okay, what do you currently see in your situation that makes you want to have more money, right? They're gonna be like, oh, I mean, I guess right now I'm just stuck in my job. I don't have enough. I guess like it would be nice to have more. Oh, everyone thinks it would be nice to have more, right? But like what with what you do right now, like are you 100% happy with how much you're earning? Oh no, why not? Okay, that's how you dig into the problem. Okay, so and one thing about the problem, right? And oh yeah, let me go back. Every person, every prospect always has a problem that needs to be solved. That's why they book on the call. Everyone. If you can't find a problem, that's because of you and the way you're asking the questions, not them, right? Because we want them to open up. So, how do we ask the problem questions? So first of all, what are the three things that we're looking for, and the three things that we're going to do here? We want to find out what is their problem, and why are they looking for a solution in the first place? How long has this been a problem? The reason we ask how long this has been a problem is because we're expanding the pain. Okay, without pain, people don't buy. Without pain, let me explain it. Without pain, right? There's not going to be any value of the solution. If they don't understand that they have a pain, and they're not aware that they are in pain, they're not going to want your solution. So we need them to be aware that they have a problem. So by asking them how long has it been a problem, they're aware of, okay, wow, this has been going on for 4 years, but we want them to say it. Okay. And then we ask them, what sort of impact has this had on them? Now, before we ask this question, it's quite a deep question to ask someone. What sort of impact has this had on you? Or how does it feel that for the past 5 months, you've only been, uh, how does it feel that for the past 5 months, you haven't been able to see your grandkids, and you haven't been able to keep up with them? Knowing that if you made a change, 2 years ago, that's something that wouldn't have happened in the first place, right? That's a deep ass question, right? So before you ask the impact question, this is what we call the impact question. We want them, right? We want to get a better idea of their problem first. Okay, what is their problem? And I'm gonna explain in a little bit of how to ask these questions. And then the third thing you get is, okay, what sort of impact has it had on them? Okay, so problem number one question. These are all variations of how you can ask the same question, basically. So I'll just go through one example, and then if you guys can take a screenshot or whatever. So number one. So let's say this is a weight loss, right? Okay, so do you like losing weight with your current diet right now, just like with the keto diet? No, I don't really like it. Oh, why not? Okay, and then they're gonna go to the problems. Are you 100% happy with how much weight you're losing? For Are you happy with how much weight you're losing right now? Wait. Are you happy? Let's say okay. Let's say for weight loss, are you happy that for the past 6 months you've only lost 20 pounds using the treadmill twice a week? No. Okay, why not? Okay, you always ask why not, and then they're gonna spill the problems. Okay, and then after that, what you want to do when they give you the problems, in order to dive deeper, before asking how long, you can also clarify. Use clarifying questions. Be like, what do you mean by that? Oh, how so? In what way? Gotcha. Can you give me like an example of that? Let's say they're like, oh yeah, well I don't really like it. Why not? Oh, well because I'm just not losing weight fast enough. Yeah. Okay. And how is that sort of affecting, I guess, other areas? Well, I guess I wasn't able to keep up with my grandkids over the weekend. Mm, okay. And how does that make you feel? Terrible. Oh, like terrible. Yeah, like da 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 da. Or you can also mirror people. Okay. So that's something you can do to just pretty much dig the knife way deeper into the prospect. And why are we asking instead of telling these people? So, what issues do you help people overcome? What challenges are your prospects currently facing? We know the answer to these questions. We know them. But simply telling people what their problems are and how you can fix them isn't persuasive. It also prevents you from exploring the deeper impact of those problems on them specifically, right? So, to truly help your prospects, the prospects need to be the ones who uncover and express these key insights themselves and persuade themselves into the product. Okay. Now we want to dig a bit deeper. Okay. So how long has this been a problem been going on for? So for example, okay. Um, let's say the person's like, yeah, I haven't been super happy with my weight loss journey, and I'm always stuck in a plateau, and I always just regain the weight. Oh, how long has that been going on for? Mm, has that And then this is how you ask the deep question. Has that had like an impact on you? Or has that affected you at all? Or how does it feel? How does it feel that for the past 6 months you aren't able to lose the weight and you aren't able to keep up with your kids every single weekend? And that's like 25 weekends, right? So that's deep. So you want to dig deeper into that. Now, after you got a proper problem and you dug deep and you asked them how it has affected them, hopefully by that time you've gotten a pretty good answer and a pretty solid pain. Okay. Now you get into the solution. So in the solution phase, these are the things that you need to check off. What have they tried in the past? Any previous solutions that they have explored? This would allow you to pre-handle any objections, right? Because now we're diving deep into their way of thinking. Okay. This will make sense later on. And then we want to ask them their ideal criteria. Basically, it's like, what is their ideal solution to their own problems? That way we can also kind of tweak our pitch and make it sound more personalized to them. Future pace is basically helping your prospects imagine what a ideal life would look like for them, and that will get their emotions high, right? So before speaking today, have you gone out there and looked for outside help? This is the first question, by the way. What have they tried? Have you gone outside? Have you looked for some outside? Have you gone out there and looked for some outside help to actually make 10,000 a month, or what have you done about that? Okay, and this is how to pre-handle those objections. If they say nothing, this is what you say. I'm not going to go through it because it's going to be too long. If they say yes, this is what you say. If they say that they're researching, this is what you say to handle the objection. If they say, I don't know, this is what you say. If they say they're talking to multiple people, this is what you say. Okay? So these are all the objections that we can pre-handle, because their way of thinking is it's not going to help you with the sale. Let's say they're only researching. Oh, I've only just been researching. I haven't done anything in the past. Oh, okay. Can you see how that's actually prevented you? Right? So we're trying to pre-handle the research objection, because at the end of the call, guess what they're going to give you? They're going to say, oh, I just want to keep researching. So we have to pre-handle that in this area right here. So ideal criteria, what type of support do you feel like you need so that you can achieve 10,000 a month? Like, what's your ideal criteria? Okay, obviously don't say in the tone that I just said it. But here, what we want to do is basically, it's like a white glove thing, right? We want to tweak and we want to modify our pitch to fit their ideal criteria. That way they think that this is like the perfect solution for them. And why is getting that help so important to you now? This is just for some urgency. Future pace, right? We want to put our prospects in a state of high emotions in future pace, so that it's almost as if like they can see it, like they can see a good future, right? And they can imagine a good future from this. So I'm assuming you had that like support in place, man. I'm talking, when I say support, I mean like here, the ideal criteria. How much would you want to be making per month at this moment in time? Or how much weight do you actually want to lose? Okay, let's say they say, okay, I actually want to lose 30 pounds. Oh, why 30 pounds? Why is that so important to you? Well, because then I would be able to and then I would be able to right? And then they just keep going on why that's so important, on why that goal is so important to them. Okay. So, and then we want to ask them how they feel about that. So that's just logical. So we want to figure out, okay, what are their goals? What are some things that they would want to really have? That's logical. And then we want to future pace them emotionally. So when I put you in a position 6 months down the road, you're at 10,000 a month, man. Like, what would that actually change for you though? Like, how would life be maybe different than it is now? So here, you want to smile a bit in future pace, right? Actually, like, imagine yourself next to your friend, and like you're just chatting, you're chatting with them, and you're talking about the future life, like the ideal future life that you'd have. Oh, I would be in a beach house. Like, whoa, wow, really? Like, how many rooms, man? Oh, 5 rooms. How many kids? Right? You want to like not pretend, but like you want to be happy for them in a way, and you want to be curious too, right? We want them to get deeper into genuinely how they would feel if they actually had their goals and they actually achieved it. So how would that make you feel? What would it actually do for you to be able to do that? Okay. 6, and almost the last one, is cost of inaction. Cost of inaction is basically, what is the consequence of not doing anything? And we want people to realize this, and we want people to become aware of their own costs and consequences of not doing anything. Because if they don't realize the loss, right? If they don't realize what they're going to lose, they're not going to take action, right? They could still take action. They have a lot of pain, but we want them to realize what they're actually losing out on if they don't take action. So this is what we say after future pace. So yeah, man, that's where we're going, right? Like 5 beach houses and 2 Lamborghinis. But on the other side of this is obviously not making a change, right? So here, sometimes we get a lot of resistance, guys, because in this day and age, 2025, we get a lot of resistance on sales calls. People kind of understand the sales process. So first, we want to get a buy-in, right, on the fact that There's obviously a other side to the future pace. There's obviously another side to the goals and the good side and the Lamborghinis. There's always another side to this. Okay, so we want to get a buy-in. We ask them, right, and we have to wait for them to say yes. They're like, yeah, of course. So what happens if nothing changes for the next 3, 6, 12 months and you're still stuck in your 9 to 5 job, feeling stressed out, not being able to see your partner every week, as much as you like to, and that's causing, I guess, your relationship to, just kind of fall apart, right? Like, what would that actually look like for you moving forward from here, man? Here, you don't want to have, you want to come down in terms of your energy. Come down, because this is going to be a serious conversation, because this is what they're going to miss out on, right, if they don't make a change, and that's very, very sad. So this is whole part of this is going to be serious conversation, and you want to just probe here. Well, if nothing changes for the past 3, 6 months, I guess my life would stay the same. Oh, like in what? To what extent would it stay the same? Well, I mean, yeah, I would still be working my 9 to 5. Like, I would still get yelled at my boss, and da 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 da. Okay, probe a little bit. And how would that actually make you feel? Like, to stay in the same position? Oh man, I feel terrible. Terrible? Yeah, like da 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 da. Okay, so you probe a little bit, and then you ask them, "Are you gonna settle for that?" Right? And then they're gonna be like, "No, of course not." And then you're gonna ask, "Why not though?" You want them to defend their answer. So, and then the last thing you say is, time to make a change, possibly. And then they're like, yeah, definitely. So, and then the last thing here, this is the commitment question. And then the last thing here is you say, okay, that's exactly what I wanted to hear, man. So you're confirming that all the questions and all the answers was right. Like, it led to where we are here in this call. So you affirm them, you reaffirm them that this is exactly what I wanted to hear, because you know how you said right now you're stuck in your 9 to 5, you're making less than 3,000 a month, which is causing you a lot of financial burden, right? You're not being able to support your child, da 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 da. So what we're doing here would actually work for you. If it would help you, what I could do is go over exactly what da 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 and how we help people with your situation and how we people help them get to 10,000 a month. Like, would that actually help you? We're asking them permission to pitch, right? This is a permission-based pitch. So now that they agree that they're going to be pitched, now we pitch them. Okay, so there's a lot less sales resistance. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this whole video, this whole tutorial or this training session. If you guys want me to basically help you build your sales teams, I've built over multiple 6-figure sales teams for other coaching businesses. If you want me to help you guys with that, book a call down below in the Calendly link. Or DM me on Instagram. If not, you can check out some of my other videos. Okay, bye.